That's the emotional scene as those officers left the hospital, one of them in a wheelchair, his partner pushing him. Thank God they're going to be okay. The suspect in that shooting is a migrant living in a public shelter and has a record. Take a listen.
He is 19 years old. He has no prior arrest in New York City. However, he is a suspect in several robbery patterns currently going on in the borough of Queens. Our shooter here, he entered the country from Venezuela. He entered through Eagle Pass, Texas, back in July of 2023. So we know that he entered the country illegally.
Let's bring in the host of the Rubin Report. David Rubin is here. Great to have you here in New York on set. Just your heart breaks. You see those officers. Thank gosh they were there, seen leaving the hospital. Appears they're going to be okay. But injured in the line of duty by someone who was not here legally in the first place and had a track record.
You know, Sandra, I spent most of my formative years, 20 years, in this city. I don't live here anymore, but when I come back, I can see how the city has changed. I just drove by Roosevelt Hotel as we were coming here from the airport, which is now a migrant shelter. We know about the crime. We know that the police are not backed by the mayor or even the governor. So God bless these guys, and I know that the city stands with them. The people of the city stand with them. It's the administration, I would say it's the local administration, the mayor here, and the governor here, and then of course it's the federal administration that is allowing these migrants to come in. You know, Andrew Breitbart was famous for saying that politics is downstream from culture. What I've been saying lately is that everything is downstream from immigration, because if you don't fix this problem, then whether you care about the economy or whether you care about crime or drugs or the litany of things that people care about, none of that will be fixed if we don't know about the, say, 10 million people that have come into this country.
It's interesting you say that because now Democrats are telling their own party that. Doug Schoen is a Democratic, consultant, a very influential one. In his column, he says Trump versus Biden. He takes a big picture to what happened with the former president last week. Guilty verdict won't seal the deal for either man. Here's what will deliver a win. Voters are focused on what is important to them and means concerns like inflation, the cost of living, and the southern border. Hello. And you know who else stands with these cops? The Police Benevolent Association President Patrick Hendry on the migrants who were shot and why this is happening. Listen.
Why wasn't he afraid to shoot New York City police officers? We've been in courtrooms across this city demanding change, packing those courtrooms, demanding change to the criminal justice system. And what we noticed when the cameras are on, everyone is doing their job, holding criminals accountable. When the cameras are off and people aren't paying attention, the criminal justice system is putting police officers and the public at risk.
It's a powerful message with the mayor there standing at his side.
Yeah, well, look, Sandra, you know this. Bill de Blasio, who was Eric Adams' predecessor, basically a socialist, and he was the one that destroyed the relationship between the administration and the NYPD. People thought Eric Adams was coming in and was going to fix it, but he hasn't, which is why we now have record retirement coming out of New York City police officers. They don't want to be in these situations. You can't blame them. Many of them are now moving to Florida. Many of them are moving to Texas. And then you really get a two-tiered policing system in the entire country, because the best of the best, which used to be the NYPD, and again, I say this with great sympathy to all the good officers who are there trying, they're moving to places where their administrations will back them, and here they won't. So whether you see them being shot or, you guys played the plethora of videos of them being attacked on the street and everything else, and they're afraid to use their weapons, and the SOPs have changed. It's just a recipe for disaster.
I want to also ask you, because you write about and talk about so much with the COVID pandemic and Anthony Fauci, and he for the first time testified before Congress since leaving public office, and there was this exchange towards the end of the hearing today with Jim Jordan.
Do you agree that there was a push to downplay the lab leak theory?
Not on my part.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
I think most of the country would find that amazing. I still got 11 seconds.
Well, look at the facts. I've kept an open mind throughout the entire process.
Man, he is a piece of work. I mean, almost everything that he said up there was either a lie or a complete confusion. He's now admitting 6 feet social distancing was basically made up. We know he's claimed that he had nothing to do with schools closing down. He had emailed friends of his that were going on vacation just 2 or 3 months into COVID, telling them that they shouldn't worry about masks because they don't work. What really this is about at this point is this all just kangaroo stuff? Is this Banana Republic stuff? Or is something going to happen to Anthony Fauci?
Which is it?
Unfortunately, I think it's probably the former. It should be the latter, because if we don't deal with the people that forced us to be injected with things, look, I'm not vaccinated. There were 2 years where I couldn't even come in here because I am unvaccinated into this very building. People had to make all sorts of unbelievably horrific choices, not go to their grandparents' funerals, kids out of school that now have learning delays. We can do the laundry list of things. And it is almost exclusively, not exclusively, but almost exclusively because of that man. And he seems to have no remorse and basically blamed podcasters. I don't know if you saw that portion. He blamed podcasters for 200,000 to 300,000 deaths. So I guess that's me and Rogan.
It was a pretty remarkable hearing where, as we led our show today, I think the American public's left with more questions than answers after hearing him speak there.
Well, they better want answers, because if not, this will happen again and again and again and again.
David, it was great to have you here.
It was nice to see you in person.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Are we still saying that?
We're in person. Wow, it's wild.